Welcome back to Angels and Bob's Factorio, episode 3, and it's time to continue our construction mania over here. And we've got a bit of an issue with building out too much further. See this? These are the cliffs that I was talking about in previous episodes. They're sort of impassable, and we can't destroy them yet. We may be able to destroy them later, but we can't do just yet. So let's keep going down with these two supply lines. And yes, they're being fed into these boxes again, just while I create some demand so things don't back up until we've got another way of dealing with the problem. So to start, we're going to get this episode, we're going to get red science set up again. We're going to get it set up in a way that we can actually use. Let me just actually complete this line, just so you can get an idea that we are going to have iron and copper coming down here. It doesn't much matter where we put the red science. We're blocked out of here by more cliffs, so we could put it this side, but that's probably going to be more furnaces. So I guess as long as it's compact in here, as long as we send stuff out somewhere else, then we'll be okay. So we've got these two boxes constructing inserters and constructing belt, and I think I'm going to take all of those. So 400 belt at a time and 100 inserters. That'll certainly get us started. We're going to need to complete this sort of initial setup by putting probably construction down for to make these assembly machine ones. They're used so often that we need them supplied permanently. Right, we don't want to pocket craft them. All right, so let's get back to the red science setup and let's make something a little bit better than what we had before. And in fact, I may as well make a couple more assembly machines. We don't have a factory to make those yet, so we're going to have to do something manually, which is fine. So what do we need to do? We need to start off with, again, our cogs or our gears, whatever you actually want to call them. Let's say we put them here. I can demolish stuff otherwise. Say there. Okay, and we're going to need to put them back onto another belt. So if we have our iron and copper here, I'm going to want to choose gears. And then if we remember our red science, something like this. I think it's 5 red science. We'll confirm that in a little bit. But let's check the science packs. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. There you are. You need 1 iron gear wheel every 5 seconds. And 2 copper plates every 5 seconds. So if there's 5 of these, then we're going to need 5 times that amount every 5 seconds. But that's okay, because 5 seconds times 5, it divides down. So we're going to need 1 iron gear wheel every second and 2 copper plates every second. So this, let's see what the gear recipe produces. It produces an iron gear wheel every half second. So one of these is just fine. And let's actually reset that. Okay, and then we can set science pack 1 and copy all of you. So this should be enough for double all of these if we actually need that many. Not that we should. And instead we can, I think, what else do you need? You just need copper plate. So we can just put a splitter here, let's say there. And pop you in. And we could, if it's fast enough, we could supply it back out, but I'm not sure whether it will be fast enough. Maybe. The alternate way of doing it would be something along these lines. Let's say we had something like that. We can have the output. We can have 2 of them until we have blue, of course. As soon as we have blue, this becomes a lot easier. Blue inserters, that is. Our input could be here. And we can put more input here if we want to. And let's just, for argument's sake, head straight across into the middle of these. That's probably where I'm going to put a power rail, just so that we can connect everything up. And then over here, I guess we can do the same thing, but between these. So if we go like that, probably should put it through the center. I'll just tidy things up a little bit. And let me just make a few more of those, please. Get nice and tidy. And just out of range. Just out of range for that one inserter. That's annoying. There's no way to get those any closer. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to move it to here. That'll do. It's a shame, but that'll do. And I guess we can put another one on the inserter as well. We'll see how well they work shortly. And then on the other side, we do the same thing, but with copper, because this is the ingredients for these red science units. Let's just put in more power poles now that we can. Whoops, one there. And then we've got plenty of inserters. We're going to insert this way for each of these. And on the other side, obviously the outputs will be onto a new belt. There we go. So red science should come out on there. Normally I'd flip this around and we'd combine red and green science on one belt like this. Not too concerned just yet, but I may well do that for a little bit of nicety later. In which case we'd take the iron off later and then take the copper off earlier. Doesn't much matter at this stage because we can just combine them at the end anyway. But, you know, either way, not too much of a problem. So, what else do we need? We needed copper, which we need the splitter for. So let's put you there. And we're going to go underground. Not like that. That will do. And you'll see it's half a belt each, which should be enough, one would hope, to actually start manufacturing. And manufacturing without a pause either. So from this side, we can... may want to leave room, but for now, I'm just going to turn them this way. And we'll figure out how we need to join these together in future. For now, however, we can just put in some science labs. I'm going to need to get rid of these, but that's not much of a problem. We do get some free stone out of it, I guess, but not that I'm particularly concerned. Let's just grab you. All right, and now it doesn't much matter where we go with this, so let's just build it down. And we're going to need some labs. The electric ones in particular. That's going to take a while for construction, so while that's happening, we're probably going to insert them something along this sort of line. And we'll be able to pass them from one to the next. They allow that to happen, so no problem there. Let's run some power while we can. This is not conducive to good power pole placement, but it will do for now, I guess. Can I get those connected? No, I'm going to need one too many, so let's just place them like that. And then we just need the labs themselves. So if we put one here, what's the next spacing that I can use? No, I don't need my belts in that position. I just want the lab. I'll wait for that to finish. Okay, here we go. We just got 3 of them in a row. We're separated by inserters. They'll pass the red science packs as soon as they have space in the next lab along. Do we have any room for any more labs? Short of burner labs, which means I'm short of motors, which probably means I'm short of iron, so I can go and pick up more. But that will get us started anyway with our red science, and this will produce by far more than we can actually consume with these, if I remember correctly. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Are they all working? They look to be. They're just a little bit short of copper at the moment. So I've turned off the buffers here, at least the temporary buffers, and there's more coal I need, I can already see. So I should sort out the coal next. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I will have to build more of these long-headed inserters. Not too much of a big deal, but we're going to need to bring the coal all the way from down there. But I won't do that on camera. Okay, so I've made a small setup here to make stone bricks. We are going to need stone bricks to make assembly machine 1s automatically. It's the one thing that we can't already make over there. We've made everything else that we need to. So we're just going to take some stone off the end of this line. I'm probably going to move these boxes, to be honest. They're nearly full of stone, but they're going to need to be put at the end of this so that we don't accidentally back up the system. Right now it's backing up with stone in these first 3 furnaces because we're not using it anywhere. The stone eventually is going to go all the way over here. And I guess we can decide what to do with it, but for the moment, I guess I can put more boxes together, or I'm not going to worry about it. I'll figure it out a little bit later. Let's go and pick up some more inserters. Let's just take 50 this time, and I don't know how many of these we've got, so let's just take them all again. It's kind of useful to have lots and lots of belt handy, and you'll see, obviously, our red science is backing up. We're producing way more than we need over there, for now anyway. Okay, so let's head back over, and we're going to head over to the coal production area, because coal isn't quite enough. Let me introduce you to one of the mods. It's called Factorio NEI. Mod list is in the description below. And Factorio NEI works exactly like Minecraft NEI, if you're familiar with that. If you're not, don't worry. Press Control E, you get this box, and you can search for things. In this case, I've searched for carbon. Now, carbon is something you make from coal, as you might imagine. Let me just put this other miner down. And let me hook all of this up so that all of these are getting power. I want to produce as much coal as we can. In fact, I'm probably going to want to compress this line. So I'm going to, just while I'm talking, I'm going to make quite a few more once I find which category it's in. There we go. Let's just make 10 mining drills. So we're going to take coal, and let's see how we do that. If we left-click on carbon, we can see what it's made from. If we right-click on it, we can see what it's made into. So if we're going to right-click first, we can see it's made into basic electronic components, which is good, because that's one of the things we want to build a lot of. And it's a resistor, essentially, the picture. So to do that, we need tin copper wire. Tin copper wire, if we left-click to see what it's made from, is just copper cable and tin plate, and we have copper available there if we manufacture from it, and tin comes from bobmonium, so we have both of the things nearby here. And then if we just press backspace, we can go back to the previous thing. So we need carbon. Carbon's made from coke and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is made from coal, and you need certain technology, in this case basic chemistry, and a chemical plant. And coke is made from crushed coal, which is made from coal. So all coal, essentially, just to get the carbon tree done. It means we're going to need an ore crusher for the coal to crush coal, furnace to turn it into coke, at least one. And I guess we can see it's all 1 to 2, and then 2 to 2. Is it all in 1 second? Yeah, so we can take 1 coal a second and turn it into essentially 2 coke per second, because it's all the way across. And then we're going to need, it's going to be half that, so we don't need as much as you might imagine, but we can't really do half a coke or half a piece of coal, so we'll do it and manufacture up to 2 seconds. So let's get that started quite easily, hopefully. Can I make chemical plants yet, though? That's the thing. Chemical plants? Doesn't look like I can. How do I make chemical plants? What does it need? What research do you need? Chemical plant? We need chemical processing 2. Do I have chemical processing 1? Nope. Okay, better research that. And while we're actually doing that, I'm going to set up some more machines. I think I'm going to fill up the rest of this little chain with more of these, and it's most efficient, by the way, to keep a gap in between every 2 of these along the line rather than create a separate line along the back for power. This just happens to be the easiest way to lay out something really efficiently. Definitely not me that discovered that. Look for a guy called Madzuri. If you don't already know who that is, then, well, he optimizes things to a ridiculous degree. Well, he's certainly much better than I can. 1 and 2, you should be all done. Okay, so lots of coal is going to start to appear on this line. That's good, because we're going to take some of it off, probably right around here. Let's put it down there and head this way with it. We've got some power here, so it's kind of convenient to do it around. So we're going to need to crush it first, so we're going to need an ore crusher. Let's keep it just to 1 to start off with, unless I've got a crusher in my inventory. Oh, I've got a crusher in my inventory. Whenever I need one. Let's just take you, and for now, let's just crush you. Yeah. Now let's put you up here. Let's be at least a little bit sensible. Okay, so we're going to insert the crushed, well, the non-crushed coal here, and let's just actually see if we can export the crushed version. Let's just power you up from you. And can I choose crushed coal? I can. Good. So then I can have another belt here in series rather than anything else. And it'll just export crushed coal, which is exactly what we want. And crushed coal never needs to go straight. In fact, if this is just doing a straightforward thing, can we just put a furnace in there? That actually might be an interesting thing. We've got coal here. I want to see how efficient this is. Yeah, let's try it. Let's put a furnace in. Just a regular one. I don't think there's anything else it can make from it. We can always use this special metal mixing furnace, but a regular furnace should do the job just fine. And let's direct insert, shall we? Okay, and that means we can also just skip the rest of this step. Put this here, and that should start making coke. It does. Good. Chemical processing 1 finished. Okay, what's chemical processing 2? Lithium, cobalt, chemical processing 2. You need electrolysis. Wow. Do we need lots of other stuff? Electrolysis 2 and electrolysis 1. Okay. That should let us make a distillery and electrolyzer. Let's get those out of the way. They're going to be quite fast. And I can probably speed that up by making more labs. I'll make a couple more. Because we need to make carbon dioxide and then combine both of these to make the carbon. So let me go and do that off camera because this is just me putting down more labs. What I didn't mention, however, is that we have a bit of an issue that we need to get over. One, well, chemical processing 2 needs green science, and so does electrolysis 2 before it. So we need to make green science somehow, as well as red. We also need to make steel to make the chemical plant. So let's deal with one thing at a time. So green science, how do we make green science? Well, if we hover over it, funnily, we need transport belt and inserters. If only we'd automated those somehow. Yes, I know. So we have these right here that we can do something with. We can put them wherever we like, of course. I might want to rearrange this, you know. Yeah, let me rearrange it. Okay, that's nicely rearranged. We've got the output belt in the middle, and that means we can just put in another set of factories on the bottom, 6 this time instead of 5, just for ratio reasons, and we can set them to green science. And put in some power poles. That should be far enough to reach, at least most of them. There we go. And then we can just feed onto this same belt. Don't think there's any more symmetric way to make it set up than that. And then with that means we're going to have to feed the input from the outside. We can either come around the outside or around the inside. The outside is less busy at the moment, so let's actually do it that way. And of course, any surplus hopefully should build back into the boxes. We may have to increase our production of those things, though. So that should start producing green science, which should mean I can choose electrolysis 2 and press research. Nothing's going to happen, of course, until they start producing, but that shouldn't take very long now. Are you producing? Yeah, you are. You've started. Going to take a little bit of time for the first one to get started, but that's no big deal. Steel, I think we've already got steel. I think I already researched it. Steel plate. Can't make it in pocket, but I can actually do that. Generally, we just put it into a furnace. And to make that, we just actually put iron plates back through a furnace. It does tend to hoover up a lot of iron plates, however. So if you're going to do this, do do think ahead of just how much iron you're actually going to need to produce. Other than that, let's get started. So I'm going to put on some furnaces for steel. Okay, so here we've got an initial steel setup. This is nowhere near enough steel you'll need. Just a warning, lots more. But this is just temporary, just to get us some steel to start off with a chemical plant. So we've just got split here from our output from our furnaces. Half of it is going underneath this belt and back onto this half belt here with coal, which of course is then feeding these furnaces with both coal and iron plate. Take that out, which is then outputting steel, which is going to come down here. And at the moment it's just backing up. So we can just pick that up. And chemical processing 2 is just about to finish. There we go. So we should now be able to make a chemical plant, hopefully. Chemical. Somewhere. Yeah, a chemical plant. So if we ask it to build a couple of those, just so I've got one spare in hand. And then let's head over to our coke factory. And here we are, so let's just pop it down. Doesn't matter where, I just want to see what the inputs and outputs will look like. We're going to want to make carbon dioxide, and then we're going to make coal from both of those. So carbon dioxide, it just needs coal on the input, and it's going to output carbon dioxide. Alright, and it's going to output to both of these, and it just needs coal as an input. Alright, so let's... Remember when I said I would have one spare on hand? It looks like I'm not going to have one spare on hand. But other than that, that's fine. Let's just get you, first of all, here. And then put another one in this way. So if we choose carbon dioxide. And we insert, put some power. Figure that out later. You are now creating carbon dioxide. So if you want to make carbon, you're going to need coke. And you are producing coke. So how's the best way to get that out of there? I guess I could just belt it for now, couldn't I? I don't need to do anything specific, hopefully. And you're now making carbon? You are making carbon. Good. So we've got carbon production going, and I guess we should automatically output that somewhere. It's going to be over this direction, I guess. So for now, I guess I will just put a box in place. And box that up. Like that. There it goes. Okay, so we've got carbon going. We've got red science and green science both going, full steam. At least as full steam as we can get with that single line of furnaces. I'm also going to want to get rid of this infrastructure, and we're going to probably need to create tin plate, and we're going to need to make more copper plate. We don't need a major infrastructure for that, so I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to do for that. Let's actually just start with something really simple. That's the same kind of thing we've been doing. Let's take a look at just creating an ore crusher here for a second, and then just feeding it. Yes, it's going to complain about the lack of power. And then can we direct insert if I set this out right? Let's just grab one of you for a second. And one of, I don't need the burner version, I want a regular assembler machine. That shouldn't take very long to build. Nanobots are finished. We're not going to use them just yet, but having them available is good. Water treatment will be a good thing fairly soon. That needs basic electronic boards done first, so I'm probably not going to worry too much about it just yet. Automation 2 gets me fast inserters, but that needs basic electronic boards as well. So much stuff needs basic electronic boards, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing carbon in this episode. We'll carry on and finish off the basic electronic boards in next episode, but basic electronic components are the things we need to get first. This actually, that allows us to configure them. Don't need to worry about so much about that for now. But getting these to be able to move more than one is a good thing to do. So I will get that done. Okay, so we can set your recipe to bobmonium. And we're going to need some power. Thankfully, that should be quite easy to get to. Probably want that there. Okay, and put our assembly machine in. And now we're going to need to just do the crushed stone thing again, I think. There we are. Crushed stone, and you should be able to solder tin from crushed bobmonium. There we go. That's going to need some coal, however, so I guess for now I can just feed it in by box. Like that. Save some inventory space as well. And then from the output of that we can just, at least initially, get some tin plate. Okay, so we've got tin, we've got carbon, we also need some copper. And I probably don't want to bring it down all the way from over there. So I guess I will reset up that furnace setup here. But I'll do that off camera. Alright, so we've got copper plate going again. I shouldn't take this down really, but it's fine, it works. Gets us going at least with this component. So we can just put in a factory here, assembly machine I should say, and let's put a couple of them in. Fill them this way. And let's make cable. I'll adjust these for ratios later. I won't worry about it too much because we're approaching time. I just want to get all this sorted for you guys. So you've got all this finished in one episode as much as possible. So let's just get rid of both of these. I'm about to lose my steel axe at the bottom right of the corner. But that should do it for now. Let's just create power. So these are going to create copper cable. And that's on the wrong side. Not anymore. Okay, so now we just need another thing that manufactures. What was it need? Tin copper cable, was it? So carbon's here. Let's turn you off for a second and bring carbon in. What's that? That's going to pile up in a second. But if we should be able to make tin copper cable straight out of these. So pop down our assembly machine. Anywhere from here on up should do. So let's make 2 of those. Tin copper cable. Half a second, needs 3 times the amount of copper as tin. I'll work out that later, so I'll correct it on the next episode. For now, you should have everything you need. So we can just say input here. Give me some power, and probably need to make a few more of those. And then they're going to output on this side, tin copper cable. And we're going to get some carbon from there. So I guess we could direct insert, maybe? Best not to. Best actually just to belt it, just in case. And actually I want to belt it the other direction. And probably going to bring this over here. Like that. And if we supply this with power to connect to it all, what we should get is both the components we need to make basic electronic components. So then we can just make a couple more of our assembly machines from here. Take those and we'll get basic electronic components, which are really important to get early on. This isn't optimized yet, but it actually will get us results pretty quickly, which is part of the point of getting this early. So, components. And we're probably going to need to have more than one of these, aren't we? So we may as well, while we're at it. There we go. And I guess for the moment, we'll just box them up here. Figure out where to put the rest of the infrastructure when we come to making basic electronic boards. That may be next episode, it may be the one after. It depends just how much of the stuff this I can build easily. But for now, we're boxing this up really nicely, and I guess we can box up even faster if we just take it around here, just in case we need to. We don't want to block things. Cool. So that's all made. Basic electronic components in the 3rd episode. Red and green science, carbon, and tinned tinned copper plate. Yeah, tinned copper cable even. So that's a lot of progress for Angels and Bobs in one episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. It does tend to go a little bit fast, so if you're having trouble keeping up, do let me know. If you have any questions about it, do let me know as well. And oh no, why am I backed up again? Oh, why am I backed up? I'm backed up because our boxes are probably full at the very end, and we're backed up on a couple of copper anyway. Oh, yeah, looks like we're backed up because of these boxes. Oh my. Okay, so I guess I better go and try and manually insert these into all the furnaces, and we can deal with them that way. Because the inserters won't, but I can do it manually. And as soon as we get filter inserters, we'll be able to separate these out into two separate sets of furnaces entirely, which will make this much, much easier to do. And can I just get rid of all of you guys? I'll get rid of the backlog. And next episode, maybe we'll improve it. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.